Hello, guys. I saw Logan last night, and I was lucky because it's in Germany. Germany dubs all of the movies. It's just like why? But luckily, there was a screening with their original English language, so I was able to see Logan here in Germany, which thank God, because I would not want to wait for the fucking Blu-ray release for this. There are two movies that I've cried while watching on the cinema. Marley and Me, for obvious reasons, because it's sad as shit. Comedy. Ugh. And Logan. During the end credits of Logan, I legit, tears, were running down. I'm just sitting there, just like, don't look at me. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm actually crying. Because it was sad as shit. But in a good way. When I walked out of the cinema, I was a bit conflicted with myself. I was just like, because I had to process every story that happened in this movie. But then when I talked to my sister when walking home, the more I talked about it, the more I thought about it, the more I liked it. It's a fantastic movie. It's Hugh Jackman's final film as Logan, playing the role for 17 years. Let me put that into perspective. I'm 20 years old now. I was 3 years old when X-Men 1 came out. He's been playing that role since before I even knew what X-Men was. That's insane. And this is his final movie. It couldn't be more perfect. It's a perfect movie. The story is fantastic. All of the characters are great. X-23, yes. She's a child. She's 11 years old. That's insane. And she's really, really fucking good. Patrick Stewart as Charles, super sad. Super good. And then Hugh Jackman should win the best actor in the fucking Oscars or whatever. Because if he doesn't, something is fucked. Because he's fantastic in this movie, playing old man Logan. I love the simplicity of this story. It's not like, oh, we need to save the world because we're heroes. No, the story is just like, it's so character driven, and it's really, really fucking good. And already from the beginning, with Charles being there, they're in Mexico. Why the fuck are they in Mexico? I'm just like, what's happening? Why are they sick? All of the mutants are basically dead. It's Logan and the mutant Caliban, played by Stephen Merchant, who they're taking care of Charles Xavier in the desert of Mexico or something. And the way Patrick Stewart plays him in the beginning, I don't know it personally because I don't know anyone with Alzheimer's or anything, but based on other reviewers and other discussions that people have had, they're saying that it's pretty close to how it actually is. And yeah, he gave off a really, really great and sad performance. As soon as I saw Charles, and when he just was rambling on like a commercial, I got teary-eyed. I had tears in my eyes for the entire film. People were laughing, there were funny stuff happening, but I'm just sitting there just there are so many things in my mind. So I'm just gonna jump back and forth. Charles killed the X-Men. They're not saying it, but something happened in Westchester, New York. I just watched the first X-Men movie. That school, I'm pretty sure it's in Westchester. When he got his first mega attack, he hurt over 600 people. He probably was at the school. That fact makes it so much sadder that they're out in Mexico and because he's trying to protect him. And the whole casino scene, God, it's so fantastic how they flipped that scene from X-Men 2 when he just freezes everybody. We're all just like, oh, that's so cool. Haha, mutants, am I right? We're so awesome. And then now they just flipped over the head and just that's fucking terrifying. He can kill everybody. And Laura X-23, so fucking fantastic. They have her fucking foot claw. I was not expecting that. I was genuinely shocked. I was just like, oh, that's fucking awesome. I like also how in the beginning when the robot arm dude, I don't remember his name, when he gives Logan his card, and it's I like you, the whole I like you lake or something, whatever it's called in X-Men 2, it was that name. So as soon as Logan went, oh shit, I also went oh shit. I was the only one in the cinema, by the way. Nobody had any idea what that was referencing, but I was just Weapon X, oh shit. And sure enough, they were experimenting on kids, and I heard some people saying that they felt the movie was a bit too slow at some points, and I get what they're saying. There are a lot of scenes where people are just lying down and sleeping and all of that, but for me, that's character-driven stuff. Logan is tired, Logan is sick, Logan is dying. He has metal cancer, because of his adamantium skeleton. There was something that I wanted to talk about that I'm not seeing many people talk about, and that is the fact of the X-Men comics. Because when they first showed up in the trailer, oh, you're an X-Men fan, blah, blah, blah. I thought there was going to be just some throwaway line like, oh, comic books. That was going to be a bit cheesy. The comic was like the main point of the movie. Get her to Eden, get her to this place, which doesn't exist. It's a thing from the comics. Obviously, these kids are tortured and then going through terrible stuff, and they're reading X-Men comic books. The X-Men are probably their heroes. We see a guy at the end of the movie holding a Wolverine figure. And so the people who took care of them, the doctors, I assume, they said like, okay, we're gonna escape. We're gonna meet up at this place, you know, using this fake address as a real address, which turned out to be like a watchtower or something like in the actual place. And then the whole point of Logan saying most of this didn't happen and certainly like not like this, something along those lines. It just makes me feel like, okay, obviously this movie takes place in a more realistic world. This is obviously a comic book, an exaggerated version based on their real life experiences. What if the movies, the previous movies, are basically the comic book? What if like the previous movies that we've seen are exaggerated retellings of what actually happened in the real world, which is where Logan takes place? Because Logan is a movie that's sort of out of continuity, so that's sort of how I see Logan as. These moments that happens in in X-Men 1 and X-Men 2, oh sorry, the main ones that I'm gonna mention, maybe they happened, but maybe not exactly like the way they did, because they reference the first X-Men movie when Charles says, when I met you, you were like a street fighter or something, cage fighter, which he was in X-Men 1. The whole actual plot was so simple. It was so character driven. I feel like in a normal X-Men, normal superhero movie, it would be like, mutants are dying, we need to find out why, we need to find a cure. We do find out why mutants are dying in the movie, but that's not the point. We don't care about the point. Logan shoots the main villain just like that before he even gets to say before he even gets to say everything. No, the whole point of the story, it's Logan getting Laura, and then at the end, the rest of the kids across the border into Canada, well, they'll be safe because Canada. Suffice to say, like the actual villains of the story, it's not about them. That's why I had no problems with the villains being a bit like, we need to get the girl because blah 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 blah. Because it's really not about them, and I feel like at the end it really shows, it's not about them because Logan just bang. When X-24, the Wolverine, I'm gonna call him, because obviously X-24 is in this movie to be the Wolverine, while Logan is Old Man Logan. This is supposed to be Logan fighting his inner demons and all of that. I realized that at the end, that's why they have an evil version of Logan. This is the animal, this is the Wolverine fighting Logan, and Logan is losing. So more towards the end, I was okay with the whole clone thing. When he first appeared, I could have sworn there was a dream sequence, which I'm pretty sure that's what they wanted you to think, when he kills Charles. Oh, that whole scene is just so fucking sad, when Charles just like, I realize what I've done. And one of the last things he sees is X-24 stabbing him in the chest. And then when Logan comes back and he says like, it wasn't me. And then it's just so sad. I was just like, oh, I'm crying. And then of course at the end, he dies. And I love that. Obviously he was gonna die because this is his final. But they did what I've always wanted superhero movies to do, because all of them, they do it in every single fucking movie. The character, he's on the brink of death, oh no, and he's dead, and then he comes back. Everybody's just like, oh my god, it's a miracle. I really, really dislike when movies do that, but you just know that when he's lying there, he's gonna die. And then when he speaks to Laura, and Laura who's been like this animal, like Logan, she's all of that, and then when she says daddy, and Logan saying don't be what they made you, which is just such a callback to Logan, because Logan has never had peace in his entire life. His life has been shit, like the whole adamantium thing, he's never known peace. It's always been like shit for him. Now he's dying of his adamantium skeleton. He's a weapon, an animal, all of that. And so when he finally says, so this is what it feels like, I interpreted that saying was, this is how it feels like. I'm at peace. This is what peace feels like. I'm finally calm. It's finally, zen. And Logan dies happy. And then of course at the end when Laura just takes the cross and turns it into an X, I mean, that just had me bawling. It's amazing how Fox, who keeps fucking up in X-Men. Jean Grey is my favorite X-Men character. And seeing her as the Phoenix wasn't enough because X-Men Apocalypse was fucking shit. And it's so weird how Fox can make a movie like X-Men Apocalypse and then make a movie like Logan. Obviously, there are a lot of different variables involved. Of course, you know, the director and then the budget always have things to do with it. This direction that Fox is going in now, it's really, really good. But remember, Fox, not everything has to be R-rated. There's going to be a New Mutants movie. That shouldn't be R-rated. That's a movie about a bunch of teens if you do it right. That doesn't need to be R-rated. Make R-rated movies when the character is written for it. But I'll be honest now, for the first time, I'm glad that Marvel Studios doesn't have the rights to the X-Men. Marvel Studios would never make this movie. Disney would never make this movie. If Fox keeps going in this direction, I say good on you, Fox. Keep doing it. Keep doing good. Listen to your directors, have a good story, and don't fuck up. I don't really rate movies, but Logan is a fucking great movie, and obviously if you're watching this long, you've already seen it, and hopefully you agree. Tell me what you thought about Logan. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Tell me why in the comments, and I will of course read them, maybe even respond to them. But yeah, that's it from me. Hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys whenever I see you guys. I didn't even talk about the fucking, like, the whole barn scene. Shit. That nice, poor family got fucked. Yeah, there's so much shit that I haven't even talked about, and it's just like, it's really, really good. Yeah, goodbye. Love you all.